Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be reviewing Hitman 3 on the PC. I will first start off with the positives and negatives. The first positive I have about this game are the cutscenes. Yes, yet again I will be talking about the cutscenes of this game. The cutscenes are much better done in this game than they have been in Hitman 2. For reference, in Hitman 2, they downgraded the cutscenes from live animation to just basic pictures and a voiceover, and they have fixed that for Hitman 3. What this means is that they went back to well-animated cutscenes. Now, not as good as Hitman 1, but I'm not complaining at all, because the cutscenes look just fine in this game. Another good thing that returns are the maps. The maps are yet again so well done in this game, and I feel like the maps are actually larger now that I think about it. I just cannot get over the fact on how well the variation of these maps are done, because they're just so cool to look around in these maps and to find different areas and different ways to kill your targets. And I can't believe how creative the developers are, and that's what makes this game so well done. Another positive that I have, that may sound weird, but in my opinion I think it's good, is the fact that they didn't really change the style of gameplay. And actually, they didn't change anything. I just absolutely love the gameplay, and I'm so happy that the developers decided to stick with this type of gameplay. And I hope for Hitman 4 that they stick to this, because it's just so well done, and there's nothing that needs to be changed about the gameplay at least. I do have some negatives about this game, but they're not really that severe if I'm honest. The first negative I have is the music. So the music is still good in this game, but you just don't hear the music as much, and that's quite disappointing. I mentioned how I love the variety of music that they had in the second game, and that they should continue with this, but in this game it seems like they just dialed down the amount of times the music actually plays. I admit I'm the kind of person who feels more natural in a game when the music is off, but that's only very specific to certain games. For instance, like Grand Theft Auto, or this game. This game is a rare case where I can have the music off or on, but when I have the music on, I want to actually hear the music, because it adds to the atmosphere of each mission. Like, if you're in a downtown area, I kind of want to hear louder music and stuff. Or if you're in a quieter mission, where you're in the suburbs, I want calm and peaceful music. But honestly, I don't really hear any music in this game, which is quite surprising in my opinion, considering how much music there was in the first and second game. This negative is about the gameplay itself, and it's the last few missions. So in the last few missions, you're put into scenarios where I notice that you can't use stealth, and that you have no choice but to go guns blazing. I'm sure there are expert gamers out there who have found a way out of this situation without causing too much of a fuss, but for me I couldn't find a way. So I thought going guns blazing was the way to go. For this reason I am thinking of the average gamer, and what they would do in this situation. And I feel like they would have done the same thing that I would have done, which is search the area for ways to get out stealthily, and then once you find that way, try and figure it out on your own. This is exactly what I did, and I spent a good 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get out of one situation. This situation was when I was at the ICA facility, and at the end of the mission, they caught me tampering with their files. This was no fault of my own because it was a scripted part of the game. After I was caught, there were two doorways that I had an option of going through. One doorway had 4 guards, and the other entrance had about 5 guards. These were the only 2 exits that I had, and I absolutely had no choice but to kill them. Now, you may ask, what's wrong with these situations? Well, this game is based off of being stealth, so if you're stuck in combat, it's a lot more difficult in this game, because you're technically not supposed to be in combat. So you basically have no training on how to fight in combat in this game, and they never tell you in the beginning, and they don't have a tutorial section on how to use combat to your advantage. I have no problem with combat in this game, and I think that combat is serviceable, but I think we should have at least been given a tutorial or something on how to do it, because in like the first mission, you're told all of the simple ways to play the game, and you're told to be stealth as possible, and you can go in different paths and such, but they never show you how to react in a combat situation. and I feel like if they added that, then it would have felt like it came out of nowhere at the end of the game. So let's talk about the story now that I'm done complaining about this game. The story finally makes sense. Maybe it's because I have the background of the first two games to now understand what's going on, but I'm happy to say that I have a clear picture of what's going on in this game. In short, the story actually isn't that long. It's basically about finishing off the rest of Providence, hiding Agent 47's existence, as well as Diana Burnwood's existence. There's a lot of backstabbing in this game, I've noticed, and it's mostly done by Diana herself. What we originally get out of her is the fact that she's trying to rank up in Providence to become the new constant, and to destroy it from the inside, which makes a lot of sense, and it's a pretty good plan. We learn in Hitman 2 that Agent 47 was tasked with killing Diana's parents. Diana takes her revenge in this story and poisons 47. Now this part is where it could potentially get confusing for many people, but for me I think I understood what was going on. I think what happened here is that Diana was genuinely angry that Agent 47 killed her parents, but I think in the end she understood that he was just following orders, and he wasn't doing it for personal reasons. So I think what happened is that Diana purposely poisoned 47, but with the lower dosage of the poison, so then 47 could survive. I think she originally wanted to genuinely join Providence, but I think she realized that would overall be bad for her, as well as everyone else involved. So I think she made it seem like she set up 47, but she also set up the constant. So what this turns out to be is that 47 ends up on a train where he wakes up and he fights through the train until he finally gets to the constant. The constant gives 47 a choice to either erase his own memory or to kill the constant himself. In a twist of events, 47 takes the serum and actually injects it into the constant, meaning that he lost all of his memory, and this now means he no longer can function as the constant, in turn making Providence no longer a powerful corporation. The end of the game can be up for interpretation, but this is my thought on what it meant. So the end of the game involves Agent 47 going to Diana's cabin in the middle of nowhere. The scene then just ends there. Now my interpretation of what's happening here is that because now the ICA is destroyed, as well as Providence, they are going to start their own agency and basically do what the ICA did, but without the corruption. This game may seem like it's the end of the Hitman series, but in my opinion, I don't think it is, and this scene basically proves my theory. Overall, this game is exactly like the other games, very well done, and I gotta say, it is the best story-wise, as well as gameplay-wise. There's not much else I can say about this series, just because it's so well crafted, and congratulations to the developers for making such a good game. Now, I reviewed this trilogy on the Steam version of the trilogy, meaning that I got all 3 games in one, so I will review the overall trilogy game and try out the extra stuff, so I will have at least one more review on this specific game. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next video.